What's going on YouTube? It's Mike here. Today guys, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at a purported dummy model of the iPhone 6 and comparing it to my iPhone 5S. So before I get this video started, I want to give a big shout out to Sonny Dixon on Twitter. I'll leave his link in the description below for hooking me up and helping me get this iPhone 6 dummy mock-up, whatever you really want to call it. He helped out a lot in getting this, so go check him out. And so here it is. So this is what should be the iPhone 6, apparently, based on recent mock-ups, drawings, and leaks and stuff like that. And this is pretty much just a raw dummy. Of course, this is a non-functioning unit. No matter what buttons I press, even if I plug it in, nothing's really going to happen. It's just to really give us a example and a fuller, closer look detail of what the iPhone 6 should actually look like. So here's what the front is. Now this is the 4.7 inch option. As you know, there's supposed to be a 5.5 inch option as well as a 4.7 inch option, and this is the 4.7 inch right here. And before I actually compare it side by side with my iPhone 5S, just so you can see how the size difference is, I want to go over some of the features, of course. You know, on the top, we have our speaker and front-facing camera, as well as a very faint, looks like ambient sensor almost. And on the bottom, we have our home button with Touch ID, and it even has the gold ring. This is the gold dummy option. The dummy also comes in space gray and silver, believe it or not. And on the side here, we have these volume buttons. As you can see, these are volume buttons, much like you'd get on the 5th generation iPod Touch. We also have a ringer switch on the side there. Here's a closer look at detail. They even click. And so you can see just the difference there. Usually it would be circles. I'll compare in a second. And then on the side here, we have our power button and the SIM tray. So the power button is actually supposed to be moved to the right side. You can imagine it's probably a little easier to click since the screen is so much bigger. And so therefore, there's nothing on the top. There's no more power button. So it's very interesting to actually see it. It does feel a lot different. You know, as when I first saw it, I thought to click on the top, and then I found myself clicking on the side, and all of a sudden I actually like it, especially since it is a bigger screen. And on the back here, we're just looking at some sort of new design. We have that two-tone concept again. However, the full thing is actually the brushed gold metal. So there's no glass on the top or bottom. There are white painted outlines. You can see the paint is kind of chipping on them a little bit. I don't know why, but it is. But you can see there's no glass on the top or bottom. It's all just this brushed aluminum type of gold. And you can see it's also not squared off anymore. It's rounded instead, which personally I like. A lot of people don't like it. Reminds them almost of the Galaxy. But quite honestly, I wouldn't mind having this. And you can see it's like completely different. Obviously, there's no Apple logo. I'm assuming for copyright reasons. On the top, we got our camera lens, our microphone, and flash. And surprisingly, there's no dual flash on this. It's just a single little flash diode. It could be incorporated into one in the next generation of the iPhone 6, or it could have just been a manufacturer's mistake. Overall, the actual unit is a lot thinner and lighter, which I liked a lot compared to my iPhone 5S, so that's something to note. And then right on the bottom here, we have our headphone jack, 3.5 millimeters. There's actually no cutout. I couldn't even get a little headphone piece into there. We have a cutout for the lightning connector. And lightning connector actually fits in there. I tried it. And then, of course, we have our speaker grills, which kind of look like the iPhone 5C almost with just one row. You know, on the 5S or 5, you'd be used to 2 rows. And the same goes for the microphone. You know, it's a lot smaller. There's only one little piece. So I'm sure you guys are dying to see this comparison, to see just how much bigger the iPhone 6, purported iPhone 6, is compared to the iPhone 5S. So this is the 6 right here with the 4.7-inch screen. And we'll go ahead and get my 5S in the picture, just so you can see this is a gold iPhone 5S as well. So it's just about the same. And there you go. You could just see how bigger the 6 is compared to the 5. So you could see just about an entire actual top piece of the phone, almost, as a matter of fact, is the difference. You can see the screen on the purported iPhone 6 is a lot larger diagonally and a lot wider too. So Apple would actually have to redo iOS entirely in order for this to fit, because this isn't from 3.5 to 4 like the iPhone 4S to the iPhone 5. This is an additional 0.7 inches. It's huge. And I put the iPhone 5S here in the bottom right corner, the actual corner of the bottom right of the iPhone 5S, just so you could see how much additional space going up diagonally is left. You could see a lot on the left of it and a lot on the top. So it's not only the screen that gets bigger, but it's the entire phone. Here's what it looks like on the side. These are the volume buttons on the purported 6, and these are on the 5S. You can see how the buttons changed and how the buttons are a lot higher up now. Here's the bottom. You could see what I was talking about before with the speaker grills getting a little bit smaller and less actually displayed on the 6, purported 6, between the 5S. The home button / Touch ID sensor actually got a little bit smaller on the iPhone 6, the purported mock-up. I'm assuming this is either an error or it may actually be a little bit smaller. And on the 5S, you could see the power button on the top there, but on the side, there's the 6's power button. And then obviously both of them have the SIM trays. And here's just an idea looking at the back. You could see how much bigger, again, the purported 6 is compared to the 5S. Obviously, on this one, you're going to have all of Apple's logos, including the iPhone text and Apple logo. You won't on the mock-up. But you could just see the difference, how this one is supposed to be all aluminum and will have separators, but it will still continue to be the aluminum or whatever type of metal Apple uses in the 6. While the 5S actually has the top and bottom being glass. I don't know if Apple will change that in the 6 or they'll keep it the same. We'll have to wait and see. And here you could see the differences with the camera as well. There's really not that much of a difference. Obviously, the cameras are going to be the same. I don't know about this ring on the actual 6. That's how all the dummies come. And on the microphone, obviously, in between the two, that'll always be the same. And the flash, on the 5S, we have dual flash. It looks like on the 6, we have single flash. However, in the 6, they may actually put the dual flash together and be able to combine it in one. Wouldn't that be cool? Obviously, the 5S is a lot heavier than the 6. Keep in mind, the 6 doesn't have a battery in it, so it could be just as heavy. It could be a little bit lighter. Obviously, it's a lot thinner, as you saw in the comparison before, and a lot bigger as well. But there you go, guys. That's pretty much it. That is the first look at the iPhone 6 dummy and kind of a comparison to actual existing iPhones at this time. Of course, a comparison to my iPhone 5S. If you guys like this video, please leave some comments below on your thoughts. Of course, rate this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below. Hopefully, this is what we'll see from Apple coming this September, or maybe something even better. Who knows? See you in the next video.